Well, good evening, everybody in the 1/6 scale community. This is your 6 scale tribal chief. And I do have here the championship belt, the Mr. Mom collectible championship belt. And there's only one thing I need to say to the audience tonight, those who are watching, and that is acknowledge me. That being said, I'm going to bring in our panel. We have a great show tonight. And we're going to start with the man who brings the hate every time he's here. And I think there's going to be some hate tonight. We have Shawn, the Hatelorian. And we have a special treat for those. Yeah, we have a special treat tonight. We'll probably have some more views. We'll probably have some hate tonight. We'll have some, share and all that.
It's either going to be a lot of hate or a bunch of tears.
Whichever. So, like you said, acknowledge. Thank you, Peyton. He already knows. And now we have another gentleman who's going to offer some insight to the stream tonight on some other topics that might bring some tears. Mr. Don Prime, how are you, sir? It's been a minute. I hope you're hope you're great, my friend. How are you?
I am. And just for those who may be looking over, I do have a new case in my collection. It's we'll talk about that a little later. It's kind of a response to some of the issues we're seeing and we'll be discussing later tonight. So, but yes, the fire will be dropped, and like Mr. Mom said, you better acknowledge him because the crew is going to become hardcore. For those who don't,
just acknowledge. And then finally, he's never late, always on time. And we have Carlos. How are you, Carlito? You got to light those cases behind you. All your cases are off. You got to light those cases up, buddy.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
He's got the Moducases behind him, and he's going to offer some more insight. How are you doing, my friend, tonight?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to discussion. I think we got some really good topics. So
we have some discussions to talk about tonight. This stream will be broken into. I'm going to put the championship belt away, the Mr. Mom championship belt. That's Carlos's fault for egging me into buying that championship belt. Now we all have our own titles, but this stream we're gonna get right into it because there's a lot to uncover. We're gonna break this stream up into 3 specific segments. I have this panel of gentlemen on tonight because they all have an area of expertise of something that we do want to talk about, and that is very important to me. Because when I discuss these topics, to be frank, even if I'm not fully adverse or knowledgeable in them, I can at least have people on the panel. So what you see on this panel tonight, not including myself, is a plethora of knowledge in various topics, and that is the point. So we're going to jump right into it and talk about, I'll acknowledge the live chat in a moment, but we're going to talk about the Jack Sparrow figure. We all own it, a version of it on stream, and we are going to talk about the Q system specifically. The figure, we can touch on the figure, but what I want to talk more about is the actual Q system and the how fast Sideshow or Hot Toys drop that on us basically within 24 48 hours. It was up for pre-order, and so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna talk about Moducase, kind of a follow-up. Carlos and I made a video a few weeks back, and which got some tremendous great feedback, positive, some negative, which I welcome all the same. And so there's some updated things that are going on that we want to talk about. And Don, I hope we'll see how open Don wants to be. Don's got some experience with that some things are going on. And Shawn, I've been wanting to pick Shawn's brain because Shawn is a new Moducase owner. And simply enough, I want to kind of talk about his experience to kind of follow up with what's going on there. And then finally, we're going to wrap it up with, I don't recall, there's been reviews, but I don't recall there being a live unboxing of the Jazzinc 2022 Batmobile. So that is what Shawn has behind him. We have multiple cameras set up. So he's got one there. We have another hate cam as well. So we'll do a live unboxing of that and kind of maybe talk in the background while he goes through that. But we'll jump through those main topics because I think we really want to focus on the Moducase and the Jazzinc unboxing. Try to keep the stream around, what time is it, 7:50? Like 2 hours. I think that's a healthy amount of time or less. So I just want to jump in real quick, just acknowledge some people in the live chat. We got Peyton here, dropping the emojis there, my friend. I hope you're doing great. Cigars and Bacon, thank you for being here. We got Hal in the house, Scrunchy Squad Unite. Thank you so much. We have a Scrunchy member, the Bro Collector, Scrunchy Proud. I appreciate that. So we got some banter going on between Cigars and all these guys here. And like I said, and the bro collector, I think he was assuming that I was the one doing the unboxing. So he said, fingers crossed. I did say it is going to be Shawn's, not mine. And Cigar said, I sense a disturbance in the force. We will see. Brad says, I have the weathered version 22. I only have 2 gripes about the car. One is the vents on the hood should have been gapped to let light through, and the price, but nothing's cheap anymore. Can't fault you for that one. Cigars is calling me a nerd because of my championship belt. Payton is acknowledging me, so I appreciate that. Brad says, can you smell what the Rock is cooking? I know he's on Raw tonight, so I know we're competing with that a little bit. Hot Toys will never make it, just facts. Well, we'll see, man. We will see. Absolutely.
I would agree.
And then Brad says the only other reason made another DeLorean, they just use the same mold, same with their 89. Once again, you're not wrong, my friend. And premium rock bases, Mod, you think, forget our case. Well, I like that little play on words there. And the Hot Toys Nightmare is saying hello there. I hope you're doing great, my friend. So let's just jump right into it, guys. The first thing I want to talk about, I'll pull up the screen. We'll talk about here. This is the Jack Sparrow, the Artisan Jack Sparrow. So I made a reaction video to it, obviously, and I gave my thoughts on it. I do have the Artisan. So for those who've seen my video, I'll kind of take a step back. The first person, and before we get started, thank you. Some guy here dropping a $5 super chat. He says, I'm only here for that beautiful strap and Carlos. So I appreciate it. Some guy, he's a channel member. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Let me see what I got here. I'll hit you with a little thank you. Let's do a little Ghostbusters.
All right. Anything. Thanks so much. Thank you. Hope we can help you again. Coming through.
Man, that movie really disappointed me, by the way. Anyway, so Shawn, I'll start with you first, because I think that you and Carlos doesn't know. Carlos and I have I think the same opinion, because we talked about this offline. You, however, I did speak with, and you have a contrasting opinion. So it'd be good to hear what Carlos, what he has to hear about what you have to say. So I want you to go first, Shawn, in terms of the system, the Jack Sparrow. I know you secured one, maybe not through Sideshow's means, because like everyone else, you kind of were caught off guard by the the release, but have it away.
Yeah, I didn't get one because emails were sent out. I didn't get a notification until like 12 minutes after that it went live. Then I hopped on. I think I was like 4,300, and then I got down to like 1,200 before they sold out. Yeah, so first, I think that system is just broken, especially for its customer base. So I kind of ranted a little bit, but I'll kind of get on my I'll break out my diva soapbox here and rant. I'll call it like it is. And so Sideshow's putting out these limited releases, right? And their customer base, I'm going to assume that their customer base is kind of like any other retail or any other type of customer base, where there's a 80-20 rule. 20% of your customers generate 80% of your revenue. That's usually universal. So with that in mind, am I gonna with this randomness? I'm catering to all customer base, even newcomers, people that's never purchased from Sideshow before, all that stuff. I'm just with this random lottery crap, it's just catering to everybody. Now, as a retailer, I really should focus on that 20%, because of what they did. I'm not a customer of Sideshow now. I had to secure the Jack Sparrow somewhere else, and so and I'm usually a pretty loyal. Whatever I can get through Sideshow, I always get it. But because of their system, I'm going to get it elsewhere, and I pretty much got it for at cost, add shipping to what Sideshow is, and then that's it. And so, but they could have my business, and I'm and I would be that I would definitely qualify. I would pretty much assume I'm in that 20% range. So if I'm a business, I should cater to that 20%. And so if anything, it should be, all right, if I spend X amount of money per year, I'm a customer for so many years, then essentially it should be a lottery system for that bucket of people first and foremost. You cater to them, and if they don't grab it, then you kick it down to another lower end bucket, and so forth and so forth. Because like right now, I could, people, like when this went live, I could have made up 5 or 6, 7 different accounts and just hop on there and have the same chance as anybody else, and that's just not cool. And that's what people are doing. And so they should be taking people that have that been a part of Sideshow customers for over 2 to 3 years minimum, and then if they spend, if those customers spend or have an annual spending of a certain amount, they should have priority. Period. Because you don't want to take your best customers and have them go elsewhere. It's just, and I'm sorry for the people that like if you don't. If you're only collecting 1 or 2 pieces a year or anything, that's absolutely cool. But from a business standpoint, I'm pissing off, like they're pissing off their 20% that makes 80% of their revenue, period. Because how many of those 20% actually got this figure at Sideshow? Very little. That's just my point of view.
Now I'm going to jump right over. Now, Don, hold you last. Carlos, I just want to bounce it right to you, man. Now, hearing what I just want to hear your opinion about that, because I think that like I said, I know where you are, I know where you stand. I think it might be a little bit different than Shawn's, but if you can give me your take and kind of bounce off which Shawn was saying and give me your thoughts on that.
Well, my initial reaction was, with limited releases like this, it's always going to be like winners and losers. Not to use the word loser, right? Just trying to give my thoughts on it as far as the contrasting where you can land. But I mean, that said, it's tough, right? It's a limited release. There's going to be a group of people that are always going to be like on top of things. They're going to have a little bit of an edge, and there's other people that have lives, like jobs. I think that's exactly what happened the night the afternoon that Jack Sparrow dropped. A lot of people just going about their day, and it was almost like a shadow drop, right?
I think your mic's a little muffled, by the way, Carlos.
Yeah, you just went into the ocean.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, great. So, like I was saying, I think it was like a shadow drop, right? It was like maybe 2 hours before.
30 minutes.
Really? So, see, that's what I'm saying. Like
the official notification was 30 minutes through the emails. Now we got, and again, through our different networks, and again, we're all friendly, we all alert people. We got like pre-notifications 15 minutes before the emails went out. Like literally, and to go to a lot of people's things. Even for people who got pre-warning, we only had 45 minutes pre-notification before it dropped. And again, that's the earliest warning anybody got was 45 minutes before this was dropping. And I'll let you continue.
I'll say 45 minutes. I think because we were in Discord, I just happened to be there, right, with a group of friends, and I think I think it was Payton. Payton said, "Hey, I saw it in one of the groups that is dropping at 1
Shout out to Payton. He's the one who let all of us know.
Yeah, we were all together, and that's the only reason we got it.
That's literally the only reason. I was at work.
It all
Payton
filtered
was like,
filtered everywhere.
Yeah, Payton was like, "Hey guys, did you guys get this email about this thing dropping at 1 o'clock or whatever?" And we're like, "Wait, what?" And we all just like ran out to like where we were, just like stopped what we were doing and just got prepped.
Like to Shawn's credit, like there was a level of luck to that, right? So it was. So it's fair in the sense that I think everybody had, for what it was, a fair chance to get it as far as the emails. Like everybody got the same notification. I think the difference was circumstances. It just depends on where you were. One of our group members, Hal, he was driving. He was freaking out because he thought he wasn't going to get it. And he took a shot and was able to make it in.
Can I jump in there for a second? I just want to retort on one thing. There's absolutely spin of luck. What they did here, it's a one-off now. They're not going to be able to do this again. So when they come up with the next one with the queue system, everyone and their dog is every day, like, if you're on the East Coast, you're going to be jumping on at 11. No, not East Coast, I mean West Coast. You're going to be jumping on right before 11. Okay, is it today? No? Okay, then I'll log off. Is it today? No? Okay, then I'll log off. So it's going to be like that was a one-trick pony for them now. Now people are going to, for me, like I'm going to hop on there. Now, like when an Artisan drops every day, I'm going to be on there now at certain times, knowing that when they drop. and so are the scalpers.
Yeah.
What's the long-term fix? Is what I'm saying. What that's going to appease your customer base the most.
All right,
No.
so can I just drop in and again to
Mhm.
that? So as a compromise, and again, I totally get where everyone's saying, like, again, on the previous limited release for the Umbra Clone Trooper, I got in. I was like number 788, when I went in. And I literally was one of the last people that got in before, I got in and all of a sudden it was like, it's now waitlisted. It literally, like, I couldn't, like, it was in my car, but coming out. And it's one of those things, and I totally get it. Because at 788, I had a pretty decent shot. But in comparison, though, I do get what you're saying with with a certain amount of money spent with the company, it's almost like automatically your account should be weighted in the queue, in the randomizer.
Yeah.
Your account status should be weighted, and that should apply where your randomizer goes, if that makes sense. That's fair on like both ends. It's fair both to you as the consumer spending a certain amount of money with a company, and you should be rewarded for that, but also at the same time that does also give other people a chance. It might be smaller, but it is still fair in the sense that a business is a business. Their goal is to make money and to keep their customers, because again, anyone who knows, like you're saying, the majority of a business's overall long-term profits is repeat customers. It's not new consumers.
And and that's what I was gonna say. I mean, to Shawn's credit, I think that there's an argument to be made about what he's saying. What's actually fair, right? There's a lot of people that drop a lot of money on Sideshow, and I mean, I know that in HK, Hot Toys Direct, right? They have like a system for I guess customers that purchase more product, and they get like early access to figures in person. So
VIPs and stuff.
yeah, right.
I like Premium Rock Base's comment. Should you really be getting pissed over toys, though? Absolutely.
So I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look
What
at
else is
this, but Shawn's got a point too when he said like it's broken. I mean, I think it worked well for the people that were on top of it. One thing to note was that day, it really kind of stood out to me, the fact that Shawn was saying he was like number 4,000 in the queue, because I think at one point, once everybody got theirs, I kind of left Sideshow and I popped back in to check on it, and literally there was like no queue left. It was just sitting there. You could just like pop in anytime and pick it up. And I know there were other people that were still in the queue, so um it was kind of messed up. There were people waiting in the queue at a point where if you were just coming in outside of the queue, you could go right up in and buy it. So something was kind of fishy with that. It was really weird. I know
Well,
Dave was still in the queue, and I logged out and logged back in, and I was able to go straight to the figure. So all he had to do was like leave the queue and go back in, and he probably could have gotten it.
Was it the Artisan or was it the deluxe version?
No, the Artisan was still sitting there up for sale while the queue was up, and anybody can mosey on in and buy it. It was really weird.
Yeah, I know a few people were able to log in and then log back out and get a lower queue number.
Well, there wasn't even a
that was
queue. You
messed
just
up.
go straight in without the queue. The queue was gone.
Well, no, what happened, and again, so long story short, I had the opportunity to buy the Artisan. I looked at it, and again, for what I was going to go for display wise, I ultimately went with just the deluxe version. So I purchased it, and then in just for giggles, after I purchased it, I went back to the link, and guess what? I had immediate access to go right back to buy the Artisan because there was still some left. So I get, like, I'm getting what you're saying is like I had already been through the queue, I had purchased it, but I had still access to go and buy an Artisan if I wanted it. So that's almost like a glitch in their system as well. Once you've had your shot and you pass it up, you shouldn't necessarily be given another shot to go back, and buy it after you've already made either, the collector's or the deluxe edition purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to jump in and say a couple things. I want to stir the pot up a little bit, like I always do. My whole thing about it, and I think Carlos, you and I talked about this, I thought it was an interesting dynamic kind of listening to the aftermath about this. And one thing I thought was interesting is like people who like, I don't want to use the word complained that like they never got emails and stuff. In a perfect world, the system's broken when it doesn't work for you, and the system's fine when it does work for you, as with everything in life, right? That is just how it is. Not to steal some of Carlos's thunder and what he said to me, but he did say this, so you credit to you, is that like, you know, this is a expensive hobby, right? And I guess we were trying to say we were kind of surprised about certain people that were like, I slept on it, or like I was literally, you know, certain people that like had no idea what was going on. We're all networked, right? At the end of the day, in some form or fashion. Obviously, I'm not trying to make excuses because, like I said, I was sitting at work. Like I just happened to be lucky that I work a desk job, that I was able to have, you know, that I was able to do, you know, jump in real fast. Like I was in and out in a couple seconds. Like I jumped in, I was number 3 in line. I was number 3, got it, and ran right out. And so is what it is. But it was just kind of interesting because it's like, you know, we all have networks, whether it's Facebook groups or Discords or, you know, streaming. And it's kind of hard to believe that like people weren't like, there's people just totally oblivious to it, which I thought was kind of surprising. But the one thing, like you said, Carlos, also is that, you know, if anything, it's not a perfect system, and they're almost changing it with every figure. Like with every artisan, it's almost like the system's changing ever so slightly. And if I'm not mistaken, did they not do this with the Umbra Trooper, where it was literally a 24-hour, like they dropped the promo photo, like the release photos, and then it was like system next day?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
but they announced
I'm
when
not
it
saying
was going to
part of it,
happen, though.
Pretty much, though. It was like almost identical.
Yeah.
But it's been changing, and I'm not saying that's a good thing that it's been changing. I'm not saying that. But it has been changing a little bit. Me personally, I don't mind what they did where it was like flash sale, where it was almost like you didn't have a week to think about it, versus like Anakin Skywalker, you had like a week and a half to think about it, you know, or the Joker, you had a weekend. I don't mind just these quick flips, because like if you even look at the date, it's October 24th. This figure could really come out this year because a lot of it's recycled stuff. It's not like this is a brand new ground built figure. It's October 24 to May 25. Yes, that's a big gap, but nevertheless, you know, so it could be pumped out rather quickly, and I am interested to see when this actually releases. You know, if that plays into how fast they wanted this thing up for pre-order, so to speak. But the Sideshow system definitely, I mean, to be fair, the email, I got it, it went in my junk folder. I didn't even look at it until I was told, like, hey, this email went out, and I went in my Gmail and I saw in my junk folder, oh, Artisan, da-da-da. I was like, oh shit. And then I hit the link and, you know, got ready. But that was only because I was tipped off by a friend, you know, a network, so to speak, that was able to do it. And just for you know, whatever, I put up a Facebook poll, which I was curious. 38 people voted. I put it up right before the stream started, and I basically put a poll up, and I said, does the Jack Sparrow Q system for this figure, did people think it was fair or not fair? And so far, 38 votes, 68% people thought it was fair, 32% thought it was unfair. Now, I didn't really go into like define fair, but I was just curious in terms of where people were. But like, once again, I'm not saying the system was perfect, because it works for when you get something, it doesn't when it doesn't. And that's where like I said in my reaction video, you know, this is why it's important to understand and have backups, because like I was pushing, not, you know, I have no kickback, nothing, but I was, you know, offering Jeremy Casa services from Plastic Hero, because I was trying to break it down, and I did it in my reaction video where, you know, that deluxe was $500. Shipping and without rewards, if you just buy the figure, it was $500. With shipping and tax, you're probably looking at $550. Jeremy had it listed for $600, so for $50 more, you secured the figure. It wasn't, and when people think aftermarket pricing, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm going to pay hundreds of dollars more." It's not necessarily the case, but it is important to have other resources available, and just
That's
how
that Toys Wonderland tax.
Yeah,
but at least you'll get your toy.
Well, and the different and the thing with Jeremy and like William Wong and others out there, it's a day one. Whether you care about day ones or not, you're gonna get it before Sideshow. That is just a fact. Like that's a day one. Whether, like I said, you care about that, that's a separate. I'm not, but there is a caveat to spending an extra like $50-$60, is that you will have it probably depending, with Sideshow, it's hard to say now, but you might have it a month before everybody else does from Sideshow, if not more. So it's just, there is a plus to it, but it is important. And, you're not going to get every single Artisan this way. I have not gotten everyone in the queue. I think I've only gotten this one. I've gotten this one, and I've gotten the Joker. That was it. Everything else I had to get aftermarket and pay, a little bit higher of a price. But it is what it is. That's the game. I mean, that's just, it's a high-end collectibles game, and this is what it is, So, do we have any more final thoughts to wrap up on that? Because I'll kind of keep the conversation going into our next topic. I do want to touch on some comments. I want to backtrack a little bit. The Bro Collector was saying that he never got an email. Owen was saying score 2 of these, one through a private seller as didn't want to miss it, and one through Sideshow. Wish they would do Barbosa. I don't know about you guys on the panel. I'm loving these one-off IPs that are not Disney. I mean, I'm not Star Wars, Marvel, DC. I love just different IPs like Jack Sparrow, RoboCop, or anything like that. Like, I love that stuff. That's just me personally.
They diversify your collection.
Yeah, just it's something cool. And I'm not mad because I got the DSO6 like 2 months ago. I'm not pissed. I'm actually happy that everyone gets this figure because it's an amazing figure. And then ironically, it's the figure that everyone's dumping off on buy sell trade right now. The DX15 and the 6, everyone's dumping them like left and right. Figman says, I've been buying from Sideshow since 2007. I've never won anything or gotten a prompt email or text message. I'm sorry to hear that. Cigars and Bacon says, got an issue. Here's a tissue. Thank you, Cigars, for your words of wisdom. Premium Rock Base says, I would keep it more like the Artisan Anakin, announce when and then what time will go up, a few days, and then good luck. Just be consistent. That is one thing I do agree with, is that they have not been consistent. Kaju Daddy, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Artisan is still available through Toy Sapien. Keith Lee says, when is the unboxing starting? Soon, very soon. Eric channel member saying hello to everyone. I hope you're doing well. A Hot Toys Nightmare. I have noticed since Sideshow started the hurry up and wait process that people who have been collecting Hot Toys for less than 3 years are getting the exclusives rather than the collectors that have 8+ years with Sideshow. That might go into something also where I don't mean to hate on anyone who's an older collector, but yes, younger collectors are also more technologically normally advanced or inept is maybe a nice way of saying it, or maybe have the connections where there's more groups and stuff, so they're in the know. Maybe I'm not hating on anyone that's an older collector by any stretch of the imagination, but there is something to it.
Older collectors might have that traditional 9-to-5 job, but they get stuck in meetings.
Yeah, right. I mean,
that's meetings and everything else, and can't get out. And
Shawn, that's how you pay for all your stuff, right? Mommy and Daddy can't pay for it. So Rob Ross said, I was able to get the Umber Trooper and Artisan Jacks. For me, it's 100% fair. I mean, listen, man, I'm not hating on you at all. Brad says the whole system is fixed. Keaton Car 89. Hey everyone, still waiting for my 89 housekeeper figure. That was, and waiting for Hot Toys to announce the 89 Vault. Ooh, the Vault. That's an interesting one. I never thought about that. I'm still waiting on that 89 back computer that we were teased way back when. And Brad says, love the one-offs. The one-offs just like Don said, they diversify your collection and just give a nice uniqueness to it overall. Collector's Entity with the pound. Hope you're doing great, my friend. And this is Brad. Man, I'm over 50. I must be a dumbass. Not at all. You are not, my friend. No one is a dumbass. I'm a dumbass, but it's all right. I admit that. And someone snuck in Ghostbusters plus collector, my friend. I hope you're doing fantastic. Donating a $4.99 super chat just cause. Hope is all well, fellas. I hope you're doing great, my friend. I know you kind of switched up and you're in the statue game now. If anyone want to go check out Ghostbusters plus collectors YouTube channel, I know you were into 6 scale and you kind of got rid of a lot of stuff. I wonder if you still have that Ecto 1. I know last time we talked, ironically, I'm in the market for an Ecto 1 and you're trying to sell an Ecto 1. I know we were supposed to hook up and maybe negotiate. Well, we'll see how that goes. But I do appreciate you stopping by, my friend. And I got a little thank you for you. I'm going to hit you with a double whammy. How about some 80s? I'll hit you with some Ghostbusters and then I'll hit you with some RoboCop.
All right. Anything. Thanks so much. Thank you. Hope we can help you again. Coming through.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
I'll buy that for $1.
And the man himself, Plastic Hero Collectibles, Jeremy Casa. I hope you're doing great, my friend.
A
As I
savior.
said, I don't have any. I have to stress this because I know it's not, I have no kickbacks, no affiliations, nothing with Jeremy. He is just someone out there that is looking out for people in the community, doing great work. I think we've all bought from him. I think he's got almost all of us. He hasn't gotten Don yet. So Don, you almost have to make a purchase with it. He's priding himself on getting the Mr. Mom crew where he's gotten a purchase from almost everybody. So Don, you're next on the hit list, my friend. So
Okay.
you're almost there. But Jeremy, I hope you're doing great tonight, my friend. TK Boy 210 says, "What's up, everyone?" Big Dog giving the woo to everybody. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I think everyone's kind of doing some banter, and Peyton, as always, the best mod out there, dropping the links. So, guys, we'll jump off this. I appreciate the conversation. It was a great convo, as always, what I expected it to be. Now, not the unboxing yet, guys, but we're going to get into now probably the juicier stuff, the stuff that I don't know how else to say it. It's going to be So, do I have a banner up here? Wait, do I have? I don't have my hate banner up. We'll
Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your no. So, all right, let's officially start it. Ready? Moducase, Moduspace, Moduwaste. I don't know what the hell they're called nowadays. April Fools. I don't know.
Moduwaste of time.
Yeah. So to be clear, I want to explain something about this conversation. This is my disclaimer. I do not own Moducase. I have no interest in Moducase. I'm not hating on Moducase. I'm just being transparent as someone looking from the outside in. Obviously, my view is going to be limited because at the end of the day, I do not own the product. So you could say, hey, you're talking shit about something that you don't own. Fair. You can call me that just like every other YouTuber does. The fact is, though, the difference where I think is for me is that if I can't talk about it 100%, then I surround myself with people who can talk about it 100%. Hence why I made that video with Carlos a few weeks back where I just wanted to basically kind of start to peel back the onion on the whole Moducase thing. And like I said, we made a video. I thought it was great. I thought we had great chemistry in the video. I think it was well received overall, mostly positive, pretty much really not a lot of negative on there. Great comments, fantastic engagement. So I really do thank everybody. If you haven't checked out that video, definitely go ahead. It was Carlos's YouTube debut. I think he did fantastic. He got a standing ovation from everybody. Everyone loved it and his thoughts. But Shawn, I know, he is a new Moducase owner. And so he was building what?
Before you said that, like I had an initial order of 8 like Moducases.
Okay.
And then now I'm up to 24.
You hear that?
That was the second order, yeah.
Okay, 8 to 24. So when we were filming the video, I was gonna have Shawn on, but he was like in the real early phases of building them, and even Carl. When we kind of agreed that, but I was thinking maybe give him some more time. So I went with Carlos to do the video because he has them behind him. He's had them for a while. He was able to speak to them, and so the video was what it was. And it's really funny because then Shawn hit me up. It was like, I watched your video, and it's like, man, I wish I was part of that thing. And I was like, well, let's save it for a part 2. We'll call it a part 2 eventually. And then Don Prime I brought in specifically for, because Don is literally you could almost say he's like ground patient zero. He's like literally an OG of Moducases. So therefore I can't think of honestly any 3 people with more knowledge about this. They're going to speak candidly, the truth, whether you like it or not. Tough shit. But the gentlemen on this panel were assembled for a reason, to basically give full knowledge and transparency that maybe I can't. Before we get started, Brad, I have muscle racks. So behind me are muscle racks that I built from Home Depot. I've made numerous videos on them. As a matter of fact, I have a new series that I do that's called Pros and Cons, where I do like 3 pros and 3 cons about just like anything 6 scale related. I have a couple videos out. I just filmed one about the muscle racks that I have to finish editing, where I did a pros and cons about them for someone that I've had them for like a year and a half now. But that being said, I want to jump in, and this is what kind of I'm going to start it, and then maybe Carlos, we'll see where it goes. This thing came up. This thing right here. Oops, no, that's the wrong one. Well, yeah, that is that thing. You can't honestly get that on the website, so I apologize about that. We're going to go to here, elevate your thing. This right here is what kind of triggered me a little bit. And so I thought it was interesting where, space case, whatever, Moduspace. I'll be respectful. I'm not going to try to too sarcastic right now, condescending. But they're debuting this, introducing the Mono, fully adjustable, slim, sleek, coming soon. Great way to elevate your display game with Mono by Moduspace. Introducing our newest innovation, a sleek, tall display unit featuring fully adjustable shelves and mesmerizing LED lighting that stretches from top to bottom. Stay tuned for the grand reveal. I'm not going to, I don't interact with a lot of channels anymore. Wonder why? Because I have such a charming personality. But there's already YouTube reviews. I say reviews, so I'm not picking on anyone specifically. There's reviews on this product already that are out. And I thought it was interesting, is what it is. It's an alternative option. And I think, Carlos, we're going to jump to you and then, kind of start it. We'll ease our way into the conversation. But it's like, it was interesting because, there's no rule of thumb. Once again, you display your stuff how you want. Just like collect your own way. Nate always says that. Nate Meister, shout out, geeking out. He always says, collect your way. CMB always says it's your money. No one can tell you, what to buy. It's your money, that kind of stuff. So there's no one to criticize. Hey, no one's out there telling anyone you should display your stuff this way. I know there's people out there that still have DTOFs. Shout out to TK421 Collectibles. He just did a video about why DTOFs are still great. And he shouted me out in that. Awesome video. Great. But I just think it's interesting how as we evolve, right? As collectors, space, and we all kind of naturally branched away from the DTOFs, partly because of price and availability, because, they're what they are. They're limited. And their price was going up. I had DTOFs when they were $80 at IKEA. Now they were like 100 and something. I think they're even phasing them out, or they're just harder to get.
No, they're done.
Okay, they're done. So obviously, Moduspace is capitalizing on an area that DTOFs can no longer fill the void. There's just like that IKEA best. What's that other one called? The
Bladen.
The Bladen. That's another.
Yeah, and again, but that's like I just got that, and I just built that today.
Let me pull you up full screen. Hold on a second. Let me
get out of
give
the
you
way if I can.
There you go. I see it right there.
So that's the one with RoboCop in the second shelf. So
Yep.
I actually got that yesterday. I built that today. Yeah, so that's actually the replacement. So as you, I don't know if you can tell, but that actually has a metal frame. Now the only issue is it's approximately 20% smaller physically, both in overall dimensions and display availability size.
It looks smaller. It looks thinner, narrow.
It is, but it's only $80.
I got you. So
and the DTOF at the last time they were selling them were
129 or 140.
Yeah, I mean, Pepperidge Farm remembers when they were selling for $59.99. That's how long I've been in the game.
Yep. So I thought it was interesting how, and I don't know the official pricing on the Moduspace, but it's definitely over 200. It's like a $230, 200. It's over two. Let's just say it's over 200 plus, right?
Yeah, they say 220 to 240.
And I'm like, what? Like what? That's kind of like really. And so I was just really kind of and then Carlos, we're gonna jump right in with you. You and I had some thoughts, and I'm just like, really? Like, and the thing is that like they're boasting this thing 6-month lead time, which I personally don't see that being every 6 months.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit. I mean, I'm talking about the YouTube reviews. I'm not hating on, but it's and people are being transparent in the comments, by the way. They're calling them out saying like, this isn't going to be 6 to 8 months. This is going to be like a year. But my whole thing is you're basically doing a DTOF like product. It's probably going to have a year lead time and you're charging $200+. I mean, it's just like, I know they're capitalizing on a market that's kind of like a niche, a niche market. But Carlos, dive in, dude.
I think, like you said, I mean, on the surface, it seems like a sound business decision for them. I mean, they're trying to fill that void that IKEA's leaving behind by discontinuing the DTOF. And like Don said, the new product, I mean, I'm sure it'll fit for a lot of collectors. What was the name of it again, Don?
The Bladen. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a one-off.
Yeah. And then look, you have a nice little corner where it fit in perfectly for you. But I think it's not really a DTOF replacement. Other than the size, I think it also has a less of a weight.
Yeah, the shelves actually, they're a pound less on the overall maximum allowance.
So this makes sense. My only issue with it, the price, we won't know until it releases. We don't know the quality of it. I'm sure it'll be better than a DTOF. Honestly, it looks like good construction. I mean, and just to preface, I own Moducases. I'm really happy with them. There were a few bumps in the road building them, of course, but I think my issue overall with this is that they're having issues with delivering product, right? There's a lot of collectors out there that I mean, I waited 20 months. I know collectors that have been waiting longer than I have for their product for orders for like standard Moducases. And I think it's a matter of priority. They're holding a lot of people's money right now. There's a lot of people. I mean, look at Shawn. Shawn bought 24 cases with them. Shawn, do you have all of them or are you still waiting on some of them?
Well, I had out of the 24 that I ordered, 22 were shipped. I was missing two risers.
And how long did you wait for all of it?
It was almost 2 years.
Yeah, right. So
it was almost 2 years, and then my collection evolved like 3 times during that time. Like that's the problem with like these long lead times. It's like, all right, like you don't. Okay, please, if you're less than a 1%er, if you can future think and you think like, okay, this is where my collection's going to go in a year and a half, 2 years from now. You can't. You pull the trigger when your collection's at the breaking point. That's what happens. I'm sorry. Like everyone does it. It's just like when your collection gets to the brim and you're putting 3 to 5 figures in each shelf of your DTOFs and everything else, and you finally fine, I'm going to pull the trigger and spend all this money for Moducase and just get it so I can have all this room. And you look at it and you think you calculated, okay, 8 cases. That's all I need. Eight one, D40, 140s, max 140s. Boom. All right. Year and a half later, shit, I should have ordered 16 because my collection grew significantly. Hey, I got an extra statue. I got this, that, everything. Like now, like that, the 13 DTOFs that I have my Moducase. I had the Moducases completely full, and all 13 DTOFs completely full too. And I still had to have things out in the open air. It's just like, and then you pull down and you throw a trick. Okay, well now I learned my lesson. I'm going to order double of what I did before. Order 24, and then almost 2 years, and then I got a few missing pieces, and one of the parts was open, and I had missing parts for one. They were pretty good when I discovered it because like it was such a daunting like build and everything trying to put this together. Like I just like it sat there for a while, and because I know, like, I mean, I needed to take 2 weeks off from work to be able to put all these things together.
Yep.
And when I finally got around to it,
Shawn, Hobie-Wan Kenobi with the favorite comment. I have this. A surprise Moducase hasn't teamed up with Inart so they can deliver the figure in the DTOF in 10 years.
That's a good one.
As Denobi would say, 10 points for that comment.
Yeah, 10 points.
Yeah, but Cigars and Bacon is also completely right. Again, everything we talk about, you got to keep in perspective. We're fortunate that we can enjoy this hobby there, and you just got to sit back and be fortunate and, realize, in the good position we are to even be able to, engage in this hobby.
Shawn, I didn't mean to cut. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Shawn, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to read that. Continue, please.
Yeah, no worries. We're going to be bouncing
around. The platform to continue going, obviously.
Yeah, we're going to be bouncing around here a lot here. So but yeah, it just, and then when I ordered that other case, like just to kind of shortly wrap up really quick, it just, it's ridiculous just the lead time that it takes and how like now that I even got those other cases in, and when I build them, I'm still going to have to use the DTOFs. Like with all that, like that's how much the collection's grown just over 2 years for waiting for these, the other cases. But now this is what they're doing here is absolutely ridiculous. Like if they're selling this for between 240 to 220, 240, don't forget your shipping, boys and girls. Don't forget your shipping. So you're looking at $300. An extra $60, 60, 40, $30. Guess what? You got yourself a nice max Moducase or DF Moducase.
Yeah.
And so like that can hold a hell of a lot more than that. And then now what you're not seeing right here, I want to see a line of these where you have like 4 or 5 of them in a row. And you're gonna notice most about this? It's not the lighting. It's gonna be, wow, that's a lot of black strips breaking up my figures. Because
Well,
look how thick those bars are, like in the because like I think the front of that is just acrylic, and it's just really thick with has a thick border. That's I mean
it's the
that's one thing
felt.
that
Yeah, it's
Tough
the
has over
felt
this.
covering. Yeah, it's the felt covering over the acrylic. However, on that, it actually looks thicker than the standard, covers on the cases for both the DF and the 6 skill. It almost looks artificially larger to somewhat. I don't know, is that like an art decision, or is that, trying to be like fancy with the display options? Because the thing is, I'm looking at the new IKEA one, and overall, even with the metal frame, there's less visual distortion on the IKEA one than this. And this is supposed to be the newly designed model. I mean, and here's the thing: do we actually know what the width is, or
To
the
be
volume
to
is
be
going to be?
fair, I don't want to be. I don't honestly don't want to be a dick, and I'm really trying to be. I'm trying to be as neutral, fair, and transparent as possible. I know that there's reviews that have been done out there that really do break down the specs. To be honest with you, and don't take this any disrespectful. I don't want to give clout to any other channels. So by putting up a video review, you know what I'm saying? Because it's and I'm being really honest and I'm being fair, so no one can say that I'm talking shit about anybody. I just don't prefer to put up other channels content on mine that just from specific people, just to be fair. But I know that there's YouTube videos out there, at least 3 or 4, that have done complete breakdown videos of all this, the specs, the building process. So fair to those people. It's not hard to search, to be honest with you. If you go to Google and just type in Moduspace mono, 3 videos pop right up, 1, 2, 3. I'll say that and I'll leave that there. I just don't want to give clout to anybody else. I'm just trying to be fair, keeping to my own my own little bubble here. But there is breakdown videos that maybe answer a lot of these questions. So we're not trying to sit here and be ignorant. But I want to be transparent with those watching. Like, we're not sitting here dumb. There is content out there to watch. I just prefer not to put it up on the screen. Sorry, but my stream, my rules.
So yeah, and I watched those. I watched those reviews, so I saw the pros and cons and everything. And then, but my follow-up questions is I want to see a bunch of these lined up, and you can really tell because like you have a thick black strip on one. Now you line it up another one. Don't forget that's going to be double the width of a black strip side by side, and so that really stands out. And that's when and if this isn't supposed to be a DTOF killer. There's more visibility on a DTOF.
Well, it's funny how that's supposed to be a DTOF killer, but then everyone who's reviewing these have full-blown Moducases. So it's what gets me, and Carlos, I know you touched on it. I don't mean to call you, but it's like, and where I want, there's two things I want to get into, like the real meat of, but we're gonna get to that in a second. But like, it's interesting how backlogs and listen, I'm being super naive in what I say, and that's fine. He's like, oh well, you're as a consumer, it's interesting when you have people complaining about the lead times on this stuff, but yet you have the time to R&D something like this and get it shipped out to people at no cost to do reviews on it, where it's like you're just putting it back into a vicious cycle where I would be totally fine. I'm not even lying. If this was a guaranteed 3-month or under lead time and it was like $130 and you guaranteed it within I don't expect it to be a month, but like it's going to be a year. It's going to be 6 to 8 months to a year. Just it is what it is. And I understand as a small business, you have to grow. Once again, if it sounds like I'm hating, I'm just trying to be like, as a consumer, and I'm seeing what's going on. And not for nothing, if you're watching this or on the replay, read the comments that I'm pulling up. Okay. Once again, it's not me saying anything like, oh, Mr. Mom, because I'm labeled as a hater. I'm labeled as this. I can care less. But like, go back and read the comments, right? 18K. 160 is nuts. Yeah, I got 18 cases. Wait time's always been a big issue, like the product, but honestly, need real competition in the market. Okay, that's fair, 100%. There was other comments going on here, just going through. They say these are going to be contracted out to someone else making them, so the lead time will be less. I waited 16 months for mine, and they just arrived. Let's see, Jedi CRI waited 11 months for my orders to arrive. Order batch was Black Friday 2023. Batman collectibles, I put a custom order in of over $4,000, paid half up front, waited 45 months. I know, impatient, and I said, screw it, I want my money back, canceled, and got all my money. So let's see, Brad says my buddy waited over 2 years for his cases. He actually forgot about them. None of these are me. These are people watching me right now putting these comments up. So for those out there that think I'm hating, You hate the viewers because those are the comments. When Carlos and I did the video, those are the comments. So if that's the stigmatism from people out there that these things just take forever, I'm just saying it's kind of odd to be. I mean, I know as a company, companies have to evolve and put out new products, but when people are constantly complaining about lead times, it's just interesting how like you just put another product in the market that's just going to add to the lead time. And can I just say one more thing? I've had people comment on the video that literally said, well, as hot toy collectors, you wait a year for the figures anyway. So what's the difference in base? I'm paraphrasing, but you wait a year to a year and a half for hot toys or Jazzinc products, Inart products. What's the difference in waiting for your display?
Well, if
Does
they put a head
anyone
sculpt on, if they put a head sculpt on the case with rooted hair,
Oh, I'll
they
tackle
should.
that.
Wait, Shawn, you can go first and then Don.
Okay.
Well, I would say, well, I mean, if Moducase put a head sculpt on each of the cases with rooted hair, then sure, I'll wait a year and a half.
I mean,
all right.
It's just
Yeah, Don.
that's a stupid argument.
Don,
It's a stupid thing.
All right. So, okay, there's a difference again for Moducase, you know, for someone, and I'll jump on this, you know, putting in a custom order based on custom specs that are going to require custom sourcing of, you know, certain sizes or bits or whatever. But essentially, these models are predetermined specs, sizes with predetermined qualities, tolerances, and other products that need to be used. So when you're seeing all these lead times jump to almost triple what you're estimated at, that leads to a couple of different issues. That's a factory issue. That's a sourcing issue. That's a material you sourced issue. So again, and I know that Moducase was talking about, you know, trying to put robots into their factory, and they were going to try and invest, and they were going to, you know, cut down on lead times.
Did he open a new factory, or did he have a factory that burned down or something like that? Didn't he? Did he
I know. Well, like supposedly, like the
true.
Halon system went off. That damaged a lot of the product and a lot of the actual machinery and die cast and tooling that actually went into the process. So, I mean, at this point, I don't know how much that is actually a factor, because that in the overall scheme, that's relatively recent, because the long backlogs at this point have been going on for 36 to 40 months. So, you know, the issue of the backlog well preceded, you know, the issue in his factory. Now that is absolutely compounded onto his current issues, and that's a domino effect. Everything is cascading down. But to jump onto your comment about him developing a new product, putting it out right now, you know, for review, but while there's such a massive backlog on the basic products, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a kick in the balls to their customer base, especially the ones that have them on order, and they keep saying like, oh, it's only going to be 6 months, and it's like a year and a half later, and they still don't get their Moducases.
But
well, and here's
I just want to say one thing. I mean,
okay.
we talked about hot toys. The big difference between hot toys and Moduspace is that hot toys is still delivering product. You may wait 2 years for a specific figure, but they're still putting product out. Like everybody's waiting 2 years for these orders. These orders don't filter in. They come in big shipments. There's literally periods within the year where no product's being shipped, is what I've gathered from what I've seen.
Oh, absolutely.
And on top,
and
to ride on Carlos's bandwagon there, Hot Toys releases a different figure every time. These are the same damn Moducases that are just aluminum rods with LED lights. You can source all these parts on Amazon. You can get them made to order.
Well, that's what Collector's Entity said. He basically said, you know, it's aluminum rods and channels and plexiglass. So you're doing a majority of the build anyway. So like realistically, how hard, and I'm not trying to be like an engineer, like but you're cutting material, you know, how hard can that be to really have to ship that kind of stuff, you know, and that's what's interesting. And, you know, and Premium Rock Base says, when the owner of your company jumps in to bump up orders for influencers to keep them happy from speaking out, it might be time to get together to get it together instead. I mean, they're being given away as giveaways, right? Cases are given away. And the thing about it, and like I said, it's just, in Shawn, it's kind of like how we talk about with Jazzinc, where, you know, if you're if it sounds like it's hate, I mean, don't misconstrue hate with just being critical. And that's the problem. If people want to, and I'm going to put this in air quotes, the community is that there's too much positivity and there's just not enough like critical thinking and having real conversations about it. Like we're being just critical about the product. But here's the thing. 3 people on this panel own the product and have spent thousands of dollars. So, and yeah, I haven't. Okay. 3 out of 4 people, have spent thousands of dollars on this product, just like Jazzinc. Shawn has spent thousands of dollars. I have a Jazzinc product on order. So Don, you bought Jazzinc, right? You have Jazzinc?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. But I'm just saying, it's like when we talk about Jazzinc, there's 3 or 4 people that are owners, which is all of us but Don. So we all own stuff in one way, form, or another. So it's not like we're sitting here totally with our, just bitching and we're not putting our money where our mouth is, right? We're buying the shit, but we can still be critical about it. It's because we're putting our money into it. It's just you're just trying to figure out the workings of it is, I guess, is a nice way of saying it. 3 out of 4 dentists choose. Man, you're on fire. You are on fire tonight, CMB. You're on fire.
All right, can I just?
No,
jump in.
No.
All right, so again, for as far as Moducase, I am a way back OG, backer. Now, again, just a real quick YouTuber. He does Masterpiece Star Wars stuff. His name was Bobby Skullface. Still does stuff. He was actually one of the first people to actually get wind of this. I saw one of his videos. I did the research, and so I think it was Black Friday 2018 or even 2017. It's been that long. I dropped a massive order. And the thing is, I only waited like 7 months. And I think I got like 7, 8 cases in one giant order. And then like Hatelorian, I, got a whole bunch of other cases. But then it went to like 11 months. Then after that, I started to see issues. I bought cases. It was missing stuff or parts were damaged. And, the reason parts were damaged is because, say what you want about IKEA, they actually have engineered their packaging to, somewhat protect the best of the ability of the items in the package when you take it home. Moducase never got to the point where they actually engineered their own specific packaging for the case. Because I've had, orders where, the door or the front screen, the bottom half of, the right corner would be broken off because there was no support.
I can one up you there, Don. When I had my big batch delivered, one of the riser boxes had the aluminum rods jutting out of it, and then it was like, and then another part was taped onto it, and then like on it.
Oh yeah, no, I had a Max 140 where one of the main frames was literally like twisted at such a degree I couldn't even, put the base frame on. But part of the thing is I have actually as half my collection is Generation 1 Moducase.
I wanted to get into that, and Carlos wanted to talk about that. We want that's one of the couple of things I did want to touch on, not to cut you off, but Carlos, I don't think you talked to Don about this, and he wanted to talk about the generational style cases. Continue, but that was a very important thing that we wanted to talk about.
Right.
I know they ship from Singapore, right?
Brad says, didn't they ship from Taiwan?
No, they're not from Taiwan. They're from Singapore or Philippines.
So what are you saying about the Generation 1? So there's like a Generation 1 and then there's like a Generation 2?
Yeah. All right. So I bought my cases. I bought DF120s and DF130s. So they're tall and the long ones. And at the time, I also bought, the top boards, which, they're basically, the coverings for the top. Now, when I bought the Generation 1 cases and the coverings, they had a specific set, dimensions. The cover, like the front acrylic covers were a certain size at a certain covering because the frame was set a certain way with the magnetic attachment points. The risers were done a certain way. And then actually the inner channels were done a certain way where when you added the shelves, it almost was self-reinforcing. And then the top risers, they had the MDF board as the base, but then they also had the like the synthetic cowhide on it. So it actually felt like a top riser, but you've got that surface where you can actually support other things. Like, as you can see, I have other Moducases on those hide base shelves. Now, when you start going to generation 2, you start seeing a difference in the overall frame dimensions, where the magnets on the front frame attached to the screen, or the front acrylic panel, those are different. The inner channels are different. They visually don't look different because they're only a few millimeters off, but they have been re-engineered. So as far as, if you have any shelves, accessories, anything from generation 1, they will not fit in generation 2. And again, that goes from anything like, say you have, for whatever reason, have an extra front acrylic case panel from a generation 1, and you have a generation 2 case. You want to, just replace that. You can't. You have to buy a new one because the generational framing is different. The dimensions are different as far as where certain items are located, the framing. And there was a downgrade in quality, almost to the point where it got to the point where so many orders were being accepted. It was such a, I don't want to say a downgrade in quality control. It's just they're pumping out so much stuff so quickly. They're also probably trying to source material at a lower rate, which means mass quantity of a lower quality at lower rate.
Just to there's a couple more questions. I think this is a good point. So Shawn is going to start unboxing because we're about an hour in. I know I said 2 hours, so it's a good amount of time just to kind of get the preliminaries. So he's going to start unboxing the 2022 the Batmobile. He got the weather version specifically. That is the weathered he got. So he's going to be doing, we do have another camera set up when it comes time. We have the hate cam, which is another alternate view, which will be zoomed in more, which will go full screen with that. In the meantime, like I said, while Shawn's kind of, doing that, I do have a question. I think Carl said, so does Gen 2 work with Gen 1? So if you have Gen 1 cases and you buy Gen 2, just, I'm being very nice, like not to dive too much into it because I do want to focus on the unboxing, but you buy Gen 2, are they compatible? Do they hook up? Does everything works? Or with each
as far as like the base frames, because I've got a Gen 2 tall DF, and I've got that on the side of my, like one of my main OG collections. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't even attempted it because
I'm just curious.
I don't want the hassle of having to go in and screw everything. And then, one thing lines up and then it warps the frame for whatever reason. No. But one of the biggest disappointments though, is I had, again, like I said, I bought the generation 1, the top shelves. They had the MDF board, but they were covered in the synthetic hide. So I got the Gen 2 boards and I ordered them, through Spec Fiction, local figure, and they'll get them. I waited 16 months for the Gen 2 boards, and they were literally just MDF board.
Yeah. And
the thing is, they're already warping. They are literally warping. Like one of the side corners is pitched at a 60-degree angle up. And if I'm paying $50, for the 6 scale, the long 120 board, and it's warping within, 6 months. That's atrocious. I mean, the quality control, just how someone who has, again, been with this company from day one, who has seen the generation 1 products and now seeing the generation 2 products go to such a downgrade, it's almost insulting.
So real fast, because I got a couple questions around, and then I think we're going to move into the meat of the conversation if we don't mind. So Big Dog Pound was saying, so you're not sure if the different batches you connect them. So that is you just basically answer that question. So if you buy Moducases from different batches, you cannot.
Or generations.
Generations is the correct.
Real quick, I just have a question to kind of cement all this. Like, where's the cutoff for Gen 1 and Gen 2? Like, I'm trying to understand.
I actually don't know.
That's the thing, yeah. And I don't even know if I have Gen 1 or Gen 2 cases because I got these all in one batch. And I have an order of some accessories like toppers and everything. And
well, usually if you would have got the batch recently, then it's all going to be Gen 2.
Correct.
Like,
I got mine.
I mean,
like
Denobi probably has some
ago.
Gen 1. Like, yeah. I mean, when you're first adopter of it.
Yeah, so, like 2018, 2019, 2020 is probably Gen 1.
So Shawn, let me ask you a question, because if you don't mind, because I know Carlos, we were just I think Carlos, not to overshout, but I think you kind of said a lot of stuff that you wanted to say. I know the one thing I want to talk about Shawn about, and then we're going to move into what the big boy is, the flex behind you. Shawn, I honestly have heard some stuff going on, but can you kind of like, you take the time that you want, short, sum it up, whatever you want to do. Can you just explain your experience thus far and where you stand? I know you've kind of told us how much you've bought, but can you tell us where we stand in the build process, how far you've gotten, and like what? And I know, and I'm not trying to kind of call you out, but I know you said like it's hard. Like I asked you how everything was going, you're like, that's a conversation we need to have. Like it wasn't easy just to text back and forth. But like, can you, as much as you're willing to forthcome, if you don't want to say as much, it's up to you. But if you want to, whatever you want to divulge, but kind of where you stand to kind of even the panel, like where are you at right now? Like, are they fully built? What's going on?
I have probably about 35 to 40% of it built right now. I was starting up to set up a display area in a new location, and then I decided that that's probably not the wisest place to have my display like in the long term, and then now now it just kind of really kind of thought about like, okay, where do I want to be in the long term? What and what really makes sense, and where do I want to display my collection? And so now I just actually even today I had a U-Haul, and I started moving my whole stuff over to a new location, and now my hell of setting everything back up again is about to begin.
So the video that you sent me, you deconstructed all that?
I didn't deconstruct it.
But you moved it.
I just moved it. Yeah,
Okay, because you sent me a video when the back, like showing me like the base layout. So like none of that's technically there. Like that's gone. Like you.
I removed. I took all that out and everything. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious to know.
Yeah. So now I'm setting up pretty much it's a room large enough where it's going to have all the Moducases set up the way I originally wanted to have it set up, and then I'm still have another huge wall that I can still, anything that's left over or overflow, I can toss into detofs that I still have left over.
Now one comment that you had made to me, if you remember, because for those on the panel that don't know, Shawn took a video and like he was walking around with his phone. He sent me like a 3-4 minute video. One thing that stood out to me, and I don't know if you could speak more about it, just you were kind of, I don't know if pissed is the right word, but like you were like, when you started building them, you were even like, I could re-engineer these things even better. Like the design sucked. Like the way that like it came shipped, that it had to be built, it was like it was an inferior way of doing it, basically. Like that I mean, is there something like you can kind of like touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so like I mean, just if the boxes, if how they ship it in very like I mean, the boxes are long, but they try to keep the height of the boxes to as little as possible, and by doing that they deconstruct everything, so you have to put everything together. But there's a like, just like how they do that front plate, when you do have that initial plate, they just do the front initial part. They can do that with everything. They could do that with the like, the whole front, the back, and you just have 4 connectors and that's it. And the way those weight distribution bars and everything else could be that could be engineered right into it, like just in the box, and then flat. Like they could just be folding, like connected, and then just one screw each. Like this, it could be a lot simpler. Like where I can get a D140 now, like a Max 140. I can build that probably now in about 50 minutes. And like, but that's after, okay, but the first one is going to take you 3 hours minimum. Now that I got that corner unit, that took me days, because like there was no video, there was no instructions. It was just a ton of guesswork of me putting it together, taking it apart, putting it together, taking it apart. Now there's a video of the DF version of the corner unit, but not the Max version. And the Max has all different parts. The DFs has the thin aluminum rod. These had the double Okay, now they got the double, but now does the support rods go on the top, on the bottom? Some go on the bottom, some go on the top of the racks. Okay, and how the corner pieces were. It was bonkers.
Yep.
Like, and I emailed Moducase a dozen times, like, what the F? Like, you know, I've been at this for like a week and a half now. I'll spend like a couple hours a day on it trying to figure it out, and then I'm looking at the videos and everything, trying to calculate how they're doing it, and that instructions was just garbage. And so the corner unit is what really pissed me off, and I still got 2 of those to put together. At least I got the first one, and I can go by that. And then the risers was another issue, because I started to put everything together, and then like when I started putting everything, okay, you got to do the risers first. So when I did the riser for the corner unit. All right, that was a problem. Then I go riser to do the DF or the first 140, and then realize it's missing parts. I was like, fuck. All right, so then I start going looking for okay, well then I'll put together the other 2 max 140 risers missing. And so now, and then I'll have the risers for the max 70s, but I don't have so I need risers for everything, because otherwise it's either all or nothing to be able to connect them all together. So then I had to, once I figured that out, then I called customer support. Then they air shipped those ones, and that took about 2 weeks.
Interesting. So that's where you stand right now. So yeah, Carlos, you're gonna.
No, I just want to say something for the benefit of the audience, because I know Shawn's going through a lot, but just to explain, when you get these cases, they literally come in a flat box. I think he mentioned it. But it's a flat box. The only thing that's somewhat assembled is the front part of the frame where the acrylic goes. They have the screws, but they're loose. You have to tighten them. And you have to line everything up. And all the other rods that mentioned, the rods that go the run of the depth, the back portion, the ones that run across in the back, those all just come completely separate.
Yeah,
and
the only one that comes
a bag of
attached.
screws, a bag of washers. Like, if you don't like putting furniture together, it can be overwhelming and daunting.
Man, you got chubby fingers. I'm sorry, Don, but you got chubby fingers, man. You're gonna. There's a lot of cursing and swearing. You're gonna think your family and friends are gonna think you develop Tourette's, because like you're trying to and you're holding these things, and you got the screws and the washer, and you're trying to pry this. Then you get the double ones where you're trying to get 2 washers and screws here, and then you got 2 washers screwed down the bottom, and then you're trying to line those up, and with that, it's just like.
Yeah, I mean, and again, some of the products, the only actual part besides from the screen that has the magnets on it is the actual front plate that has the magnets already for the screen itself. But you have to build everything else basically off that 4 pieces of bar that someone happily, thankfully for you, just put 4 screws in. And half the time you have to undo those because they're so shoddy, or they're bent in shipping because it's not reinforced.
Oh, and the worst part is when they machine it, those screw holes, and then you're putting the screw in, and guess what? And it stops going halfway. It's like,
they didn't bore it all.
Okay, and then you strip the tooling in there, and so now you can't get anything in there for like any further. It's just like, fuck. Okay, then you just have to do it without the bolt on that one. Without the screw.
I say
on that
one thing. I know we mentioned the angle of putting money in priorities, right? We mentioned how they're putting money into R&D instead of actually shipping the product, which is my main issue. That's really what's got me upset about everything. They're holding on to people's money, and they're putting out new product and haven't even shipped what they have on order. The other thing is, why don't they invest in, like you mentioned, the packaging, then in putting instructions in this thing? I mean, the cases I got, fortunately, had some videos. They linked out to a YouTuber's channel. They don't even have their own video. That kind of annoyed me. But okay, you can't put product out without instructions. That really pissed me off when you just said they put out that corner unit, that max corner unit with no instructions. I didn't even know that. Put a piece of paper in it to at least give you a start or something to do with it. If you don't know, the way this thing comes, when you look at it, there's no way. It's impressive that he actually got anywhere putting this stuff together without any kinds of instructions. It's crazy.
Batman Collectible says, you always question if you made the right decision. Hearing all this makes me thankful I canceled. I'm an electrician by trade and can do just about anything, but this sounds like a nightmare. No, it's fair. Like I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
it's just
You'd be
you
able to
know,
build like being an electrician and all that. You'd be able to build the garage racks and then add the fine finesses to it, and not to mention probably get a hell of a lot better lighting.
well,
And then
that's kind of the thing I talked about with the racks behind me, is that these, you know, the differences between like this, and I don't think there is a perfect option, but you know, I think in my video, I don't want to spoil too much, but one of the things I said, you're just limited by your imagination. Like there is no how-to on a muscle rack. But that being said, it's as far as you want to take the design.
No.
You know, in terms of how far do you want to push it? You know, like, hey, I did this. All right, I want to go a little further. I want to do this. You know, like I didn't put plexiglass on mine, but when I move out of this room downstairs, I might then put plexiglass on them just to protect. You know,
So
but there's just evolvements that you can do over time. One could argue that I'm spending equal amount of money, you know, redo it. I understand that. It depends on. I personally can never wait a year for display cases. I know for a fact the one behind me, which is 60-inch wide, 72 high, and 24 deep, it took me 2 weekends to build this. I know in the back of my head that if my collection gets maxed and I need to go out and get another muscle rack, I'll have one fully built in 2 weeks because I know what my DIY skills are. So I know that I can plan out 2 weeks ahead of time. I'll have another display case. 2 weeks, another display case.
well, as one of my final notes, like I said, I've ordered Moducases twice from Moduspace, and I've dropped more money than I like to admit on it. I'll tell you right now, I won't order from them again.
Yep.
I'm going to go for. I'll get the muscle racks, and I'll spend the time. Because you know what, I'll spend just as much time putting them together, and I won't have to spend. Then I won't have to wait a year and a half for them.
Yeah.
So like, and there's more than enough DIY videos out there that do a really good job. The hardest part is just getting the acrylic, and just getting that cut. But I mean, like Home Depot and Home Hardware now you can get that cut. You can order that online now and get it cut.
No, you can order online and get a custom cut
Yeah.
and put it right in. And like I said, I've gone 2 years without acrylic behind me just because it's like I'm interacting with my display so much that I just opted not to have acrylic on there. But who says I won't put it on in the future? Who knows? That's why I put side panels on, by the way. I know it's hard to see, but I have panels on the sides, like right there behind Vader. That's all black. I paneled the sides just to save money on, I'll just need front glass, you know, just to like, you know, instead of doing panels on the sides, I'm just going to do them in the front to save on money. But it is what it is. But I think, yeah, I think I think we've wrapped. I think we said what we had to say. Like I said, it's a topic that we wanted to talk about because we wanted to have some, you know, alternate opinions from what you see out there. But that being said, now has come the time. I think we have a good amount of time ahead of us. Shawn is now officially unboxing, so the three of us are just going to be spectators. Carlos might be having flashbacks right now. He's looking forward to.
So the box has a little bit of damage on it, but it's not bad. I mean, it's like you got some of the corner damage that you normally get for shipping, but the good thing is there's no holes poked in it like you normally could see in bad shipping.
All right. So what we're gonna do for those watching, Don, Carlos, they'll be in and out, and they're here, so they can still talk and offer their comments. But we're gonna keep the focus on Hatelorian. We have two cameras. We have the main one here, and when Shawn wants to, we also have the hate cam, so we can switch and have. Actually, let me see if I can do. Can I do this? Remove.
There are freaking some people out here.
What's that?
I'm sure I'm freaking some people out how I'm telling boxes.
Oh, we just broke the bumper. It's Jazzinc.
This is the hate cam, but we're just kind of.
It should be taped together. It's not going to fall.
Don't worry. But this is my first unboxing experience, so if you want to say I suck at this, it's fine. I'm just navigating between two cameras. I'm just going to be choosing. My cinematography is not going to be great. I'm just going to be choosing which angle looks the best and switching cameras.
That's the bottom.
So, how's the packaging? Everything so far? It looks like it's.
So far, so good.
You're on the hate cam, by the way. You're on the hate cam.
All right. Yeah, so far so good. Let me see. I'm trying to
There you
get
go.
her up going here. Here we go.
Yeah, you're fine.
So they've got two holes here. See what's in. Okay, that's the remote. That's the plug.
What Shawn, if you don't mind me asking, what vehicle unboxing number is this? Is this
You know what? I have the plate that tells me the unboxing. I think it's
no, how many is this for you now? Because you own multiple vehicles, for those who don't know. How many is this?
yeah. I own the Falcon cockpit. I own the land speeder.
Yeah,
The snow
66.
speeder. Is that considered
Sure, throw it in there.
vehicle?
Sure, throw it in.
And what else?
66.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Well, look, I'm gonna pull a Nate.
Oh no,
It
no,
came with white gloves.
no, not the
Look at that.
gloves.
Look at that.
Hey, no glove, no love.
Oh,
I'm just call me the hate meister.
oh no, not the
Look at that.
gloves.
That's awesome. All right, let's this is the moment of the truth. It's either going to be could be some tears coming here.
Let me see if I can remove. If I remove from stage, Don. Right? Are you still there, Don? Yeah. All right.
I'm getting the kick.
Sorry. I'm trying to figure out the best angle, so I apologize. All right, we're gonna go back to this one. I'm on the front.
You should have played the music from 2001.
Well, I was actually worried if he was gonna have the car upside down when he opened it.
Yeah.
Well, it did say what was on the top, what was on the bottom.
All right, I just want. I was really worried.
All righty.
So for those, I mean, if I may ask, because like I said, I've never had a Jazzinc product. So is that like?
And I got the first gen.
Is that protected from what I see? Like, is that enough protection there?
Well, there was styrofoam on top of it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I got the Justice with the Falcon cockpit, the land speeder. I got the Justice League Mobile, which was the first gen.
Carlos loves that one. That's his favorite one.
Which is not too good. And then I got the 66. I got the last batch of the 66, and now I got the 22.
So what any fingerprints we see here?
So far,
Yeah, get the black light, the white light. You get the
Or any signature father detailing.
hang on a second. Let me switch cameras for a second. We're gonna switch from remove exit solo. We're gonna go to the hate cam. I know it's a little blurry, everyone out there, but we'll take we'll take Hatelorian's word for it in terms of if we see anything that's out of the norm.
no. Well, I don't know if that's scratches or weathering. A little weird. There's some weird dimples.
Yeah, is there like a dent in the quarter panel behind the window?
Yeah, like right here, like whether if it's in the process of the molding process or not.
Like an injection mark?
Yeah.
Can we see it? I know the camera can't. I know. I know 4K to know.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that even on not on 4K.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that's a dent, like
That's
an
a dent.
actual.
I
That's
think
that's a physical damage.
Yeah. Okay. What I thought was scratches up here was just some weathering. The way how they do it, I've seen some other guys. Now the engine looks pretty cool. Yeah, we'll say that. That looks
Damn, that
pretty.
engine does look good, man.
So is there scratches or dimples in the fin to the left of the engine?
No, there's not.
Okay. Oh, so that's just the styrofoam, right?
Yeah, that's that little flake there is just a styrofoam. But yeah, there's definitely a dimple.
Yeah, you can
Right
see. I mean,
there.
not for nothing. That's
Oh, you added
No,
a light to it.
oh,
It stands like a sore
right there.
thumb.
No, right there. Oh yeah, right there. You
It's
don't need.
Yeah,
really
that looks like a hail.
You don't
hail
need
or a
4K
baseball.
for that, man. You don't need 4K for that.
how's the roof of the car? Is it smooth and like, or is any kind of?
Let's get into the roof here. So there's some rivets. That's by design,
Okay.
but overall the roof is pretty clean. No, no smudges or anything.
Wait, just to be fairness, a couple comments, Shawn.
Yep.
Gambit Rodriguez is saying I have the dents on the car as well, and the Hot Toys Nightmare, he says mine has the same dent on the right.
Yeah. So is that a molding issue?
I don't know, but I mean, Shawn is calling that out as saying that he has the same dent on the right. So just want to be clear, like before I don't know. I mean, that's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Let me see.
Now, if he has that same issue on the right, that's obviously an injection molding issue because, or you know, they're
Shawn,
flipping the molds.
I have a question. Hatelorian, if you may. Do you know
Yeah.
officially what batch this vehicle is? Is this last batch?
Yeah, this should be the last batch.
Hot Toys Nightmare. I know that I believe if you're out there, Shawn, as I'm talking about the Hot Toys Nightmare, he's in the chat. I believe he purchased the car off of somebody. Do you know what your batch is? Like, and also the Gambit, can you call out what your batch vehicle is? I'm just curious. Anybody who has their car, can anyone call out batches, please? Just for a second. You know, I'm just curious. And the Golden Voice is saying, I don't have Golden Voice is saying I don't have that dent on the side of my car. Can you also confirm what your batch is, please? I'm just curious. I just want to know anyone's batch numbers. Call them out if you know.
All right, this is what I've been waiting for.
Uh-oh, here we go.
How's it feel?
Yeah, so no loose screws there. That's just the way it is. Yeah, and it goes in and out like that too. It turns a little bit. And it's not like it springs or anything. It's just
Now, do they bow in when you put the car down? Because I could see it there. I could see like it kind of bow in.
yeah. They tilt the this way when you go in, but then when you put it back out, it just goes.
Yeah. So if it's bowing in already, that means there's not enough internal support in the joints used. That thing's gonna basically collapse on itself, just like the Batwing's gonna collapse on itself unless you get a third mount for the wall. I mean, for what you're paying for this, the amount of engineering is severely lacking.
So,
I mean, good
real
luck to
fast,
those.
Hatelorian, because I know you just can't. I know you probably can't listen to what's going on. So, there's one person in the comment, Golden Voice. He says, I don't have the dents on the side of the car. Gambit Rodriguez, who said he did have dent on the side of the car, he said that he was second batch. Shawn the Hot Toys Nightmare is saying that his is the clean version, and he believes there was only one like batch of the clean. He's not 100% on that. The Golden Voice,
Did the clean have the dent?
he says that Hot Toys Nightmare said that his had the dent on the clean. Golden Voice, who has the dent, he said his car number was 362, was specifically his number.
You know what? I'm kind of remembering. I think it was 370 something. Was mine?
370s.
Yeah. I suppose I should plug it in. Let's see.
Jedi CRI said both the connection and the axles are solid metal, in some cases half an inch thick, so it's so strong that you don't ever have to worry about sagging or any other issue. Jedi CIR said, as for the wheels being that loose, that mimics this comment gets Carlos going. As for the wheels being that loose, that mimics the McPherson suspension joint on the original field vehicle.
So I did some research on the McPherson suspension system, and that's actually a flaw in that suspension system. They call it camber. And that's just from the design, the way they do it with the springs, and it's on a hinge. It actually, I guess, bows out a little bit from the bottom. whenever it goes up and down. And I mean, I can tell you this car does not have a McPherson suspension system in it. It's just rods, screws.
Oh yeah,
So-
Carlos Jet. I mean, yeah, I know Jedi CRI. He's just taking that straight from you remember the comment that Yost put on Rudy's review?
Correct. I
Yeah,
saw
so,
that.
yeah, we're not Jedi. We're not like we're very familiar with that because Rudy's 1/6 scale were put out a really great review on the car, and Jazzinc commented back with a big in-depth reply. So yeah, you're all right about that.
Correct. So it's just odd to me that you would design that suspension system's flaw into a 1/6 vehicle.
Yeah. Hot Toys Nightmare is saying, and Shawn is another one, the Hot Toys Nightmare. He is someone that we know has owned multiple Jazzinc products. He says, I own several products. Batman 22 is the best product Yost has made to date. And that's someone's, we know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's gotta figure out what's going on here.
What's up?
Well, I gotta figure out where to plug it in.
Okay.
So no fingerprints?
No, the weathering's not too bad. Like, I mean, it has like some mud specks right here. Some, like you usually get the metal edging and stuff like that comes through from like, that you normally see in a wear and tear. But yeah, besides the dent here, and it's not just one dent, it's 3 folds. It's like there's one here, here, and here on this right here on this panel. All right, let me see if I can flip this over without damaging it, so I can figure out what's going on.
Oh, you're gonna flip the car. Oh,
Shit.
Heavy?
No, not really. You know what's heavy? The Justice Mobile.
Yep.
That thing's fucking heavy.
You're
Takes
giving
2 people.
people anxiety. You're giving people anxiety by flipping the car over like that.
I know. Okay, there it is.
There, I switched cameras on you, Shawn. I'm on your other camera.
That's like we should
All
start
right, cool.
taking side bets.
Hobie One Kenobi says, "Send it to Denobi." Collector's Entity says that the 66 is better quality.
Yeah, that's probably the best. That's probably still the best vehicle that he's done.
So Shawn, I mean, I know the wheels have play, but how do you feel about them? Do you feel they're stable and sturdy even though they have that play in it, or like does it look like it's something that's going to cause problems in the long run? I guess that's my biggest question.
Hard to say. I'm probably going to put some weight underneath it just in case, like something to take the weight off the front wheels.
Mhm.
I do know that Jazz fixed the issue with the first couple of batches of the Justice League Mobile because it's so heavy. He actually filled the tires with instead of keeping them just like rubber because they would sag. It was so heavy. All right, let me see.
Now, Shawn, just to give you a heads up before you touch anything on the remote, Collector's Entity is saying that he saw the lights flicker when you first plugged it in. He saw the lights flicker on it, so he just wants to give a shout out, like just to be prepared.
All right, it came with a surge protector, but I'm not sure if that's supposed to be used in this one or not.
He said the lights flickered. I don't know where on the car, but he said I saw the lights flicker when you plugged it in. So just
No, it's not working. Let's see if it's on.
he said the taillights flickered when you plugged it in the first time. The taillights. Someone is saying I think you're supposed to use the surge protector.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Someone else said the lights flickering happened the same. It's like, and it was normal.
There it goes. Well, I just saw the lights go.
Okay.
Well, surge protector is garbage.
They said try button 2 or 3. Oh, the front lights went on.
Yeah, I think it's. If I got the switch on right here.
Well, this is certainly disconcerting.
I heard no. Was there noise?
No, that was me laughing.
Check the connection from the adapter. Someone say.
Yeah.
Multiple people are saying they saw the lights flicker on the vehicle.
Yeah, the lights are flickering, but I mean. It's just nothing's happening.
Check the battery in the remote.
That's next.
Okay.
I hate to be that guy. Did you pull the tab from the remote?
Yeah, there was actually no tab.
Okay. Of course, I knew you would do that. I'm just trying to be a smart ass.
Is it plugged in? Well, it's a great live unboxing. Yeah, there's like no.
Yeah, reverse the polarity. Cross the streams.
Well, I'm going to be one of those guys. When all else fails, you read the instructions.
You have to wiggle the cable from the. I mean, obviously, there's people in the chat saying, calling out different things. Try different plug adapter. You have to wiggle the cable from the adapter to the car. Press 1 and check the interior lights.
Have you tried plugging it in and out?
Someone said, get a refund.
Let us try different plug.
Somewhere Denobi is laughing right now.
Oh, Denobi's like, oh, if Denobi was seeing this right now live, he'd be texting me. He's roaring his head off. He's like, I told you. I told you.
Someone said, wait for Hot Toys.
I mean, if this, hopefully this works.
Someone said if you try another adapter, you'll almost guarantee burn it out.
Fuck me, man. This thing's retarded.
They said it just flickered again. Yep,
Yeah.
The front's flickering. Yep, it's flickering.
Yep.
Oh,
Is it? Oh, it just had connection on for like 2 seconds.
I think,
Oh shit! There it is.
there it is.
There's light.
All right. This is funny.
What the hell
But-
happened?
I got to send you a picture of how I have to have this plugged in.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
doesn't sit right in the plug.
I don't like that.
Now, send us. I'll Instagram this to you.
Yeah, because I'll pull it up on my.
And then you post this. This is hilarious.
Oh my! I'm like afraid to even.
Is this something like the fire marshal would have a heart attack over?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
When my internet connection wants to work. Holy shit! All right, sorry. I'm gonna pull up.
Hey man, that sounds like a really old internet modem.
No, it's just.
I know.
Oh, his. Oh, his. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see.
Collector of
That's-
Infinity.
Shawn, I have your plug-in connection on the screen with your little bottle next to it.
Well, it's certainly old fashioned, right?
Yeah, your bottle of old fashioned on the floor.
Got the dash lights going on. Yeah, so the lights for the engine doesn't really shine that good. Then you got the cockpit lights, which aren't too bad. Let's see, get in there. Yeah, hit the brake light. Lit up okay.
I mean, for that amount of money, it should at least burn blue smoke out the turbine.
I mean, to be fair, they said that engine looks badass. Like that's like the money maker of that car is that engine. It looks badass.
Yeah, I mean that's where the engineering and everything went. Was that engine? I mean, it looks. I mean, all in all, I'm not disappointed. I mean, it's gonna look hella cool with the collection, with the Batman collection. You know, with the I got the Hot Toys with the Patterson one, with the cycle beside it, and also the spotlight,
Yeah.
the bat signal and everything, like all that. When I get it displayed in the Moducase and everything, and also like, I mean, hopefully that Inart's version of Batman is better than what the production photos have recently shown.
Oh man, you want to pull that up real fast? Holy shit.
Oh man, don't make me cry.
Oh, I got a few minutes. We'll pull it up. Why not? I was gonna.
But I think, you know what, I'm cool with this.
So let me.
Is it worth the price?
Yeah, like I want to know. Like I want to know. Like you've seen.
Honestly, it needs to be about $600 less to be worth it. Like this is a $750, $800 car.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay. Oh, let me preempt everybody. Oh, but Hot Toys isn't going to make it. I don't care. I don't care. It's a $750, $800 car. I don't care if Hot Toys makes it or not. If Hot Toys makes it, guess what? I'm going to buy that one too. But
so let me ask you a question.
oh shit.
What's wrong?
Now I'm seeing another bug. Yeah, there's another imperfection right here. There's like another dimple right in front of that.
So are you
Actually right in front of the two of them?
So are you gonna? I mean, I know I don't want to put you on the spot, but are you
Yep.
gonna do some research and see if you have to contact Jazzinc about that? If that ends up being something that's, are you gonna like you have to kind of digest it a little bit, or just leave it as is?
I mean, I still got my Gen 1 Justice League mobile, the ultimate paperweight. So it looks good when it's in the back.
Yeah.
But no, this one's all right. No, there's nothing I would contact Jazz over. It's a decent product, but it's just a little more expensive than I would like. That's all. But I mean, and there's actually, you know, the dimple aside, and the kind of like slow marks right here, like when you really like, I mean, you get that 4K camera on this thing, it's not going to hold up.
Yeah.
But that said, like, I mean, it's hell of impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks bad. I mean, it's going to look badass when it's when you add in all the figures and everything else like that. It's going to look cool. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't really hate on it, but I don't love it but I think it's the price point that kills me on it.
And you have, just so that the audience kind of gets an understanding, you have the 95 on order too.
Yes, I do.
You say that so condescendingly. You sound so enthusiastic about that. But you have
I know.
You have the
It's just
95 and you have the 89, and I have the 89
Yeah.
as well. So that's where we kind of.
Yeah, and I got the 89 Hot Toys too.
And I have the 89
So-
Hot Toys too. So
Yeah,
I have both 89.
I got the original one of that, and but now it's just like, look, I'm a Batman fan, you know. Yeah, like I'm a Star Wars fan first and foremost, but Batman's like probably is definitely the number two, and so like it just got to a point where like I know Hot Toys isn't going to make these vehicles. They're just not. And for my collection, I'm willing to spend past my comfort zone to have a display dedicated to Batman the way I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I got the 66 and I got the, the original Batman and Robin figures, Hot Toy ones, and then that Mars Toys Joker is phenomenal. I can't wait for them to come out with the rest of the line. So I'll have a whole section dedicated to 66. I'll have a section dedicated to Keaton, 89 and 92, and then I got Val and Crotch Robin. You can't. I got they're going to be the standalones that don't have a Batmobile. It's like, it's just like it's just like that's how you want to curate and show off your collection, I guess. So I guess I dance with the devil.
No, the one thing I wanted to I'm trying to juggle both at the same time, so apologies for this because I would have had a moderator do this, but I'm in the middle of doing one thing. I want to also give a shout out to Batman Collector Dad, who his comments up here says, as much as I like Jazzinc, none of them is worth the sticker price. I just want to give a shout out to him as well because we actually I'm dropping your video here in the live chat. That's actually a shout out to Batman Collector Dad. I hope you're doing great, my friend. I actually watched your video of the 95 that made some traction of the Jazzinc 95. You made 2 of them. He made like kind of a preliminary unboxing, which I think we all saw it. Carlos, we watched it. I think Shawn, I think I sent it to you, Denobio, and he did an update review on it, where he gave a real honest, awesome opinion about it, and we all really liked it a lot. So I just want to give a shout out to Batman Collector Dad. Definitely go check him out. I dropped his video in there. Give him a sub too while you're at it, guys, because he does all Batman stuff, but there's definitely a difference. And I know, Shawn, you can attest to this. There's definitely a difference. I hate to say it, when you're one of these kind of like, I don't want to say low level. I'm not trying to sound insulting, but like I'm in the same way. Like I don't have thousands upon thousands, 100,000 subscribers, but like you could tell a difference when there's genuineness in people's reviews of stuff on vehicles. You know what I mean? Like you're genuine, open this up. You're just telling us honest opinion. And I thought Batman Collector's Dad review of the 95 was super genuine. He called everything transparent right down the center, like, good things, bad things. It was really great. Like it's getting thousands of views, so he's earning the views on it. Definitely, he put a hell of a review, 2 reviews out there. So, like I said, a shout out to you for that, my friend. But yeah, like Shawn, I'd be interested to touch base again with you once you've had. I know it's an unboxing, it's done live, and so you have an initial rush of thoughts, and then when it's going to sit on your shelf for a couple days, there's going to be things you're probably going to look at and like, didn't see that, or you're going to have updated thoughts. So it'll be interested in maybe another week or two, kind of touch base on this car, like kind of where it stands, because there hasn't been a live unboxing done of it. So it's interested to get your updated thoughts, I guess you could say, when you get to test out.
And also too, like when I try like posing it with the figure and all that stuff, to like, okay, let's see if he can actually get in how well he fits in the Batmobile and all that stuff. So that's because like, I mean, it's there for, I mean, at the end of the day, it's an accessory for the figure.
Yes. So hour and 48-minute mark, a fair like 10 12 more minutes. Like I said, I want to kind of get it at the 2-hour mark. I think that's the sweet spot. You touched on it, Shawn. I wasn't going to talk about it, but you had to get me going on this. And Inart brought these photos out. Holy shit. What
were they thinking?
What the fuck is this, honestly? And now, just before I go too much into it, I have this on order. Okay, so transparency. I just paid the invoice for the Hot Toys one, the deluxe from Off the Racks. So that should be shipping tomorrow, next day. It's the one with the steps, not the bat signal. And I do have the sculpted version of the Inart on order with 1/6 kit also. So I'm going to talk some shit, but I'm also invested financially. So what the hell? Yo, I saw these photos. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Honestly, like, yo, you remind, I don't even have the picture, but the shrunken head guy from Beetlejuice. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm just gonna say 2 things. There's that, number one, and number 2. he looks old as shit here. Like he's been through like for a year 2 Batman, he looks like he's year like 22. Like he's like time has not been good to him.
No,
He's
he's been hitting the age. Look at those sunken eyes, man. They even
yeah,
bad.
like it doesn't like I don't know, man. It was just like when I saw like that one right there is really throwing me off, like how small that head sculpt is. Now I'm not trying to make excuses, but like I am trying to think like, okay, the suit looks fantastic. Okay. The suit looks great. I'm not going to nitpick it because it's a very complicated suit. I don't know the ins and outs of it, like the Keaton suit. Like the Keaton suit, I know from the back of my hand. I can call stuff out on that all day. But the suit looks fantastic to me. It looks great. I understand he's not wearing the cowl, so like the cowl is going to be bulkier because he's wearing like a mask that's going to bulk out. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of a realism there. Like if you're wearing an armored suit, you're going to look bulkier and like beefed up, but it doesn't translate in a 6 scale figure. Like it's not translating. Like it's just one of those things that just doesn't translate. Like I said, he looks beefed up with the armor and everything. Like, yeah, it looks like, and like Brad's saying, it looks like they beefed him up. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because, like I said, he's wearing armor, multiple layers. It doesn't look bad, but it just looks off when there's no skull. Like when it's just the head sculpt, it looks off. Like it looks too small. Like it just looks wrong. I don't accuracy or not. Yeah, and he looks old as shit too.
Now, does that angle look any better?
No, this one, he looks small. This one, he looks old. Like he looks older, like sunken in, like a drunk.
Yeah.
He looks like he's an alcoholic.
And do we have the prototype photos?
Yes.
Side by side?
Clutch to Carlos, who sent me them. I wasn't preparing to do this segment, but I can pull the photo up quick. He did that, and honestly, I like the prototype better. Like the mid. There's like a proto, a mid version, and then there's this final, and that looks. As a matter of fact, I'm on. Actually, you pulled it up here, didn't you? The sculpt looks rough. That was my comment. I'll just go through the comments. So, who was it that commented? Who's the person? It was
down towards the bottom, I believe.
Is it?
At least when I looked at it.
It's there. It is. HD. Shout out to HDDN. Seriously, don't. Here's the. He did a little comparison. I will try to blow this up a little more for you guys. So, sorry about this. So there's your before, which I don't like this. I like this right here. This is the version. I know this went through multiple stages. Like they did multiple showcasings of this. This is my absolute favorite version. And then hair aside, you could style the hair like better. It's rooted. You can like play with it. You shouldn't have to, but it's the sculpt. It's not doing it for me.
Now, is it just lighting that's doing this?
Dude,
Because
I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
This looks like it's really lit. And then the other one
top
is
two
like
are definitely
it's
professional.
super soft.
The top two are professional studio photos. I could tell that because they've done those. The bottom one looks like it's literally production run. I'm sorry. I'm not going to try to say I'm a professional. Lighting and angles aren't saving this for me. It's not doing it. Like, it's the lighting. It's this and the other. It's not saving it. Like, it's just not.
Yeah. Every other photo we look at, it's getting worse.
Like, the Bruce Wayne doesn't look terrible. That doesn't look bad.
That's a sculpted hair version.
Yeah, and I actually ironically have that one on order. And then the light up accessories, I can give a shit about accessories. I don't care about hands and batarangs. And that's the other thing is like people were like, to be fair, they were beating them up like in the comments. Like they were getting some crap in the comments. And people were curious, like, where's the sculpt? Where's the cowl version? Like, why aren't you showing us the cowl version? Like, where's the cowl? And so, and that's the thing is that like, it's like, I'm not going to lie to you, man. Like, I'm kind of happy they're getting beat up in the comments because like Brad's saying, like, it only took 2 years to give him a break. And it's like, yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. People give Hot Toys crap when they put out bad picks. Inart deserves the same. I mean, they're getting their fair share of, shout out to Nate, by the way. Nate probably gets best comment. He literally said best April Fool's joke ever. Like, to be honest, like shout out to Nate, man. I love you, Nate. That was probably the comment of the comment of the day. you win the internet. But I mean, I'm not gonna, you could cycle through and people are being critical. Whether or not we're definitely not at the point where we're giving Hot Toys the trophy here yet, because we need this in hand to do, I just think that sometimes delayed, and that's the thing that bothers me. And like Hot Toys is the same way. We don't know why this is delayed. We don't know the actual reason why. There's no legitimate reason why it's delayed. It just keeps saying that they're refining with meticulous attention to detail, numerous mold adjustments. Well, that's the other problem, and it's happened to Hot Toys, hasn't it? Where they go through adjustments on sculpts and things soften things. I mean, Carlos, I'm not a fan of that Days of Futures Past Wolverine, because I think it personally got softer through production, and it didn't look great to me. And sometimes that does happen, but
I'm reserving judgment with this until I get it in hand.
Yeah, you have to, right?
With pictures and everything. That said, I mean,
I know people are going to jump the gun on this, by the way, and make YouTube. Yeah, people are going to make their reaction videos to get views, clicks, easy shit. I know. To be honest with you, I was going to make one after the stream, but we're talking about it now, so I won't do anything. But no, you're right. I think
what I will say is this is the figure they need to execute on, because this is the only 1-for-1 figure they've done with Hot Toys. And I mean, if they want to showcase that they're the superior company at the prices they're charging with the rooting and hyper realistic is the terminology they use. They really got to come through. Again, I'm reserving judgment, but I mean, this doesn't look good so far. A lot of people are complaining about it. I hope this is just a bad.
Yeah, I hope this is like.
I don't think this is as bad as like Tony Stank.
No, nowhere near.
No, but
I'm not happy with this. But like I just said, I'm like, okay, let's see the final product let's see what some of these things look like shipped.
Correct.
Yeah, it's just.
I hope it's an April Fool's.
I don't think the sky is falling. I'm not in the camp of the sky is falling.
No, I'm not at the point where like I ever thought about like I'm going to cancel my pre-order. Like I'm still getting the figure because I want it, because I have different versions I'm going to display like visually. So like there's a reason for it. I'm not going to sit there and like not get it. It's just that I don't know. I say this and kind of start to wrap up, Shawn. I know, like, I think Jazzinc needs to hit a home run with the 89 Batmobile. Like, they really need to hit a home run with that. Like, no offense, the reaction that you have towards that 22, they can't afford to have that on the 89. They need to hit a home run with that car, because, they have competition with Hot Toys. Even if it's a recycled car, they still have direct competition. A cheaper product, regardless, but it still is affordable because you can't deny the price. And I think Inart needs to hit a home run with this, because to be honest with you, I don't know how many people expected the Hot Toys one to be as great of a figure as what that is. Like, there's literally been nobody that has shit on that Hot Toys figure at all. Like Dean Knight, who is very critical. I appreciate his passion and attentiveness to attention to detail in his reviews. He loved the Hot Toys Batman, like, and that sold him on it. So there's many people that like they need to hit a home run with this figure. They do. They really, I in my opinion, they need to.
You got to bust out the tap dancing meme.
Why? What happened?
Oh no, tap dancing. Because I mean, at this point, again, if these photos are real and it's not an April Fool's joke, which I don't think it is.
No,
I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed, and they're going to be like, why did I wait 2 years for this? Why did I spend this money? And some may try to recoup their money and go and source a Hot Toys Batman.
Well, that's right. Go ahead, Shawn.
Here's my thing with
I mean, like I have the Hot Toys version one, and it's I mean, I think it's a great figure. And I was expecting, like, okay, I want a greater figure now with Inarts, because I mean, you're paying that premium price. I predict another delay with this figure. Yeah.
Well, they're already past their window, because they already had said they were going to begin shipping in March. So they've already. I think that's wishful thinking on Inart's part. No.
I think with this feedback, there's going to be, they're going to throw out the influencer batch where they're going to take some of these figures, they're going to hand repaint them, hand touch them up a little bit, send them off to the influencers, and then everyone else is going to get be SOL and have theirs delayed for another 4 to 6 months before they ship.
Yeah.
You
And Brad,
mentioned
That's my prediction.
Yeah. Go, Carl. You can go, Carlos.
no. You mentioned the Tony Stank, Shawn, and I don't give Hot Toys a pass on that at all. I feel like they had to make good, right? They shipped out replacement sculpts. It was so bad.
Yeah. Well,
that
yeah, I was
said-
saying, like, I don't give him a pass for that either. I'm just saying I don't think this is bad as Tony Stank.
Correct. I mean, to
Yeah.
extent, but here's the thing with that. The whole point, because there's two versions of this, right? They've got the sculpted, and a lot of people are just getting that one because they don't even care for the non-rooted sculpt or the unmasked sculpt. All they care about is like having a cool Batman with the mask on. I get that. But for the people that pay for the premium edition that really wanted this sculpt and wanted it rooted, like that's the show for them. That's the whole point. They bought it thinking it was going to be a showstopper, and there's a big premium on that.
Yeah,
So,
and that's exactly why I purchased like I have the Hot Toys one, you know, where it has the mask on and everything. Okay, I don't need rooted hair for that one. I want this version because I want him unmasked.
correct.
Yeah, that's the
So-
wole point of getting this version.
I guess for a lot of people, there's just certain. Like, I hear you. Like, I'm not gonna cry if it's not perfect. Like, I can kind of live with it, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that probably have a limited amount of figures they get in the year. They really wanted this because this was.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
Big
definitely
Dog-
not. Oh, sorry. Just one last thing, and then I'll just like. It's definitely not bad enough for me to tap out.
Yeah, we're not at
Agreed,
that
agreed.
phase. But Inart, but Big Dog also makes a good point. Inart has 2 figures they've worked on. They dropped the ball, so it's also not like they're doing 100 figures where it's like, okay, they're working on this one, then they're working on that one, they're working on this one, they're working on that one. You know. And then I want to address. Brad also makes a point. He says the Hot Toys has issues, and he said, you know, why did the Hot Toys add neck piece to the empty cowl? So it's like the only modification I've seen, you know, with the Hot Toys one, which is an elective. I don't think, I mean, it's all subjective. Modifying figures is subjective. Like people put padding in the shoulders and stuff. So I know that there's custom collars that you can get with the Hot Toys one. So that's another argument that you can make, where I know OT Customs, people like that are selling a custom collar that ranges anywhere between $50 to $60. And I know people, like some guy, he swears like, dude, it makes a huge difference. And yeah, you could argue and say that's an additional $50 on top of the price of the Hot Toys. Now you're getting into more competitive pricing with, you know, Inart or surpassing Inart. So I'm just saying that's a completely subjective opinion that's valid. Like that's 100% valid. Now, granted, do you have to modify? I mean, the details and stuff are subjective to the people, where maybe not everyone thinks the collar is necessary, but that is a valid point in terms of that. I can understand both sides. Wayne Thomas says so many collectors were so sure this was going to crap all over Hot Toys from these picks. That doesn't seem to be the case. As I said, and I do agree with Carlos, is it an overreaction? It's a fine line between overreacting and just being critical, because, you know, to be fair, if this was Hot Toys, people would be running at the bits to say shit about Hot Toys, to shit on them. So let's just have it, you know, trying to be transparent, so to speak. Like from what I see, I'm not happy with it. Am I tapping out? No, I'm not. I have every intent to fully display the Inart Batman with the cowl and everything. And my Hot Toys Batman, I'm going to display with the sculpt. That is my intention. I still want a premium product for what I'm paying. Like, I'm not trying to give the sculpt a pass. You know, if the sculpt is subpar, just because I'm not displaying it, I don't have to accept it per se and say, hey, it's perfect. But once again, I'm just, you know, speaking out loud about that as someone that does have it on order. But do we have any final thoughts about this before we wrap up? I think we're pretty much good to go. I mean, I really do thank everybody for being here. I'll stop the screen share for a minute, give everyone in the front. I really do appreciate that. We hit that surpassed the 2-hour mark, pretty much where I wanted to be. Had a great viewing audience tonight. I think we held like 50, 60 people throughout the whole thing. We did talk about some heated, Consequences of coming out and talking. Consequences of coming on the scene and talking shit about being the best. So, I really do appreciate all the support. I appreciate the guys on the panel tonight. I did have fun talking about these topics. The topics that we spoke about were catered to the panel of people that were here. They may not have been the topics that everyone else is speaking about. Like, I don't know, even know what the news is. Jack Sparrow. What's today? Today's Monday. We're not going to get any announcements tonight, right? Into tomorrow? No, we would have had it last
April 1st.
April. Payton said something in the chat. He said that the 89 Batmobile is supposed to be released this week or something like that. Oh yeah, over in HK, I think it is, right? Yeah, they got those advanced notices of pickup for the Batmobile. Yeah, that's this week for the 89. I think.
I could even see,
with the dimensions. Well, they got the advanced Batmobile. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out there, since they did Batman and Robin, why not they do something on April Fool's for, like, say, the Riddler? Something weird out of left field like that.
Yeah, never know. So we'll see. But like I said, I appreciate everybody who joined in. Had a great amount of people watching. I'll probably cut up the stream a little bit and like upload a video, because I know there's people that want to see the unboxing portion of it. So I might re-upload that as a separate video throughout the course of the week, as long as Shawn doesn't mind. The car was functional. If that car did not function, I may not have uploaded it just for the sake of Shawn. But we had a what I would call a successful unboxing. Like I said, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody.
All thanks to Knob Creek's Old Fashioned.
There you go.
For the lighting to work.
There you go. So I'm gonna
shout out to Knob Creek.
I'm gonna bring back the championship belt. Carlos, I wish you had your smoking skull belt. That would have been nice if you had that on stream. I know you didn't get the memo. It's hanging behind your door right now. But I'll bring the championship belt back up here. But like I said, I want to appreciate everybody who watched. I don't stream as much just because I have some stuff going on. I am putting out videos. But like I said, I think we had a really great stream. I will continue to stream more when I feel like it's necessary. I won't be doing weeklies just because there's just so much news out there, and I'll make a video about something. But I want to stream when we have good topics with good panel and really great conversations, and that's what this is all about. I get shit on a little bit for being toxic and stuff like that. Words get thrown around. It's all right. I like to being subjective about everything. And Howard Chan, as always, never doubt us again. Howard Chan. Appreciate coming in at the right time. I really do appreciate that. But anyway, I really do appreciate everything. As always, thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Great traction on there. We are making our way to 3,000 subscribers. I never thought that would happen. Really great. As you're on your way out, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the stream, that would be fantastic. It just shows engagement and helps put it out there in the YouTube verse. I want to give a big thank you to Shawn, the Hatelorian, who graciously, honestly, the stream probably wouldn't have happened without him, because he was willing to offer us the unboxing of the vehicle. So I really do appreciate you, Shawn, because I know with live unboxings, shit can go south oh so fast. And I thought we almost had a moment. And I won't lie, Shawn, I thought to myself, well, if something goes wrong, I will probably get more views. But I really don't want something to go wrong.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I sat on that unboxing for like 3-4 weeks now. Like it's just I had it sealed up, and it's like, okay, now's the time. I was kind of waiting for everything to get set up first, and then I'll do it. But then let's have some fun and unbox it and see what happens.
So I do appreciate that as well. Carlos, thank you so much for coming on. I know as a family man, your kids, to break away from all that, I know it's your time is valuable. So I do appreciate you taking a couple hours away from your family to be with us tonight. I really do appreciate that. It does mean an awful lot to me. So thank you so much for being here and showing your knowledge about Moduspace and having great conversations with us. I really do appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you.
And finally, Don Prime. I know you're not on stream as much, but I do thank you so much for coming on. Every time I've asked, you've always said yes. I know you were clamoring to come on tonight, so I do appreciate it. I know you're yawning over there. You got to get up early for work, so that's why I try not to keep you any longer than you have to. But I do appreciate you being here, Don. As always, you're a great supporter. I love you. I love all you guys. I really do. You guys are great support system, and I really do appreciate it. So, and everyone in the live chat, like I said, to go back and say thank you to everybody. A lot of new faces, a lot of different faces, which don't know how much of them. I'm going to be honest. Don't know how much we're spies. Don't know how much we're hate watching. I'll take all the views, good hate, bad hate. It's all views at the end of the day, so it doesn't bother me. But I do.
I'm getting a little jealous because Mr. Mom's getting all that toxic hate stuff, and look, hey man, show me the hate in the forums in the chat. I just because I feel a little left out. I'm the Hatelorian. I'm all about the hate. Show me some hate.
I won't
tell me how much you hate my opinions, everything. I feed off it.
I won't lie, Shawn, between talking about Moducase and the Jazzinc, I was totally expecting to be so much shit talking, like, fuck you guys, this is bullshit. Actually, it's been very calm, I will say. But if I go to re-upload these as videos later in the week, we always have a chance for more hate. So if you're going to be watching this video later on a replay or as a separate video, and you want to drop the hate, it's all right, because we'll see the comments and we'll have fun with it. So, it doesn't matter. So Cigar says,
thanks, Cigars.
Yeah, it's all about collecting. So like I said, everybody, thank you so much for joining, for watching. I'll have some videos dropping throughout the course of the week, but until then, I'm tired. I'm going to go watch Monday Night Raw. I'll probably go to sleep in the next 30 minutes. So I want to catch a little bit of Raw. I really do. And I think the Yankees are on too. They're playing Arizona. So I'm going to go watch the Yankees. But until then, everybody, shut up, Don. I will see you guys in the next live stream. When that is, I don't know, but we'll be here. Have a good one.
That's everything.
Thanks.
Thank you.